the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any public comment? Is there anyone here for public comment? One more time, public comment? No public comment. Can I have a motion to approve the meetings from the September 1st regular meeting?
So moved.
Motion by Al, second by Chris Bowen. Discussion?
That was.
Oh, Rob Van Egan, sorry. I saw your.
Did you just call me Chris Bruno?
I did.
Oh, boy.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah.
Alan Rob.
Yeah.
Nope, discussion,
We can simulcast it.
approved. Nays? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries.
Abstain.
Oh, you abstained? 4-0-1, nope. Mr. Finley's abstention. First Selectwoman's report. Oh, I'm gonna take my mask off. I met with the plant manager from the Keyright Marning Group, sorry. They've invested in the building and the company and have assured us they are not leaving the town of Seymour. They're actually redoing their Day building over Mr. Day's homestead, which was, it's gonna cost them $1 million to do that building. Corporate has guaranteed them at least $500,000 of that money. I did tell them to reach out to our historical preservation group, thank you, as they have all the data, everything they would need to know, they would have all the information. So they did ask me for their name, so we are forwarding their name, which I think is great. They did remove their dam because there was a lot of issues with it. Not a lot of issues per se, but it costs a lot of money to maintain a dam and to keep up the maintenance and repair a dam. So they found that it was more cost effective to take their dam down and reroute their water, which they have all their approvals of the local state and federal agencies. So that is what they did. It was not to make another parking lot. I just wanted to squelch the town rumors on that one. I had the honor to attend the Christopher Columbus / Italian Heritage event that was given by the Order of the Sons and Daughters of Italy in America that was held in Derby, as well as a flag burning ceremony that was held by the Derby Elks this past weekend at the Derby Green. I've also had the pleasure of swearing in 2 new Seymour police officers last week. That started this week, and we have another part-time officer starting, being sworn in this week. There's a lot of happening going on in the town of Seymour. Please note Mr. Lombardi's entrance at 7:12. All those watches are off. Seymour Pink is tomorrow, October 20th. I ask that all Seymour residents and employees wear pink so that we can paint Seymour pink to show our support for the warriors, that they are not alone in this fight, as well as support those families that have lost a loved one. Thursday at 7:00 p.m., Seymour takes on Ansonia at Nolan Field. I hope to see our Seymour fans there. I made a bet with the mayor of Ansonia. It was not to wear Ansonia blue, though. It was just a lunch, so I'm safe there. I'll never wear Ansonia blue. If I win, he's taking me to Crave, absolutely right. Saturday, October 30th is the 75th anniversary of the Seymour football team. The game starts at 12 o'clock, is that right? 12 o'clock at the Seymour High School field. Also going on, that is Culture and Arts is hosting their downtown trick or treat day. The event will be held rain or shine. The parade starts promptly at 1:00 p.m. for children's in costume from grade K to 5. And who would like to march in the parade are asked to gather at the corner of First and Bank Street by 12:45. The parade will be led off by our Seymour Middle School band, and the streets will be closed. And the event runs until 3 o'clock. We will be issuing a code red to let the neighbors know that the roads are going to be closed. Also later on that night, trunk or treat will be happening at the high school. Setup time is from 4 to 6, and the actual trick or treating starts from 6 to 8. There will be prizes for best child costume, Best Decorated Car, and Best Carved Pumpkins. Fred Stanek, Dr. Compton, and myself are the judges, and we will be in costume. Thank you, Mr. Stanek, for that. Thank you. I did meet with the Seymour Oxford Rotary. I had to give them the state of the town address. They wanted to know where we are, what are we looking for, where do we see ourselves in the future. I said winning lotto. They kind of thought that was funny. Seymour Community Service, in partnership with the Naugatuck Valley Health Department, held their annual flu vaccine visit, which also included the vaccine booster. It was very well attended and very well received. We love our partnership with the Naugatuck Valley Health. Thank you, Rosalie, for all you guys do for us. November 2nd is Election Day. Our polling places for our 3 districts are Chatfield, Lepresti, the Community Center, and Seymour Middle School. If you're unsure where you are to go to vote, either because you are new in town or moved, or this is the first time voting, please call the Register of Voters and they will tell you what district you are in and what building you need to go to vote. If you need an absentee ballot, please call our town clerks and they will help you. The polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. I just want to say that I've enjoyed serving on this board with each and every one of you, and I wish you all the best of luck in the upcoming election, and let's continue to move Seymour forward. And I'm losing my voice. That's why it sounds like I'm missing some words, is because I'm losing my voice. And I'm trying to save it for Thursday's game. So, and that is it for my first Selectwoman's report. I would like to add 2 items to the agenda. Add the discussion with Dr. Compton so she can give her the state of the superintendent's address, and we can ask questions going back and forth.
So moved.
Motion by Alberto.
Second.
Second by Bob Finley. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries 6-0. The next one I would like to add is add to the agenda letter from B&B Engineering regarding the town's underground storage tanks.
So moved.
Motion by Bob Finley.
Seconded.
By Chris Bowen. Motion. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0. Okay. Next on the agenda is a discussion with Dr. Compton. Come on up.
First of all, First Selectwoman Ed Marie, we would like to present to you, Mr. Ed Stramello and myself, gratitude cards. Our vision this year and one of our leading initiatives is showing gratitude, and gratitude for all. People who make a difference, people who care about others, and also as an extension of our social and emotional learning program, and dealing with COVID as well as we continue on. So one of this main goals was started at the administrative retreat this summer with the Associate Superintendent, Rhonda Kinza, and she did a great job. And she decided to get everybody gratitude boxes and have cards. So tonight, Mr. Stramello and myself, we will present yours first, and I will do my card second.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You can read it at your leisure,
Okay.
or you could read it in public, but you might not want to. but
Into the record.
There's nothing bad in it, but you keep it.
Here is my gratitude card, and in my gratitude card, I have expressed what a wonderful new partnership that we have started with the school district and the town of Seymour. During my first arrival, she attended one of my first meetings on August the 25th. She was there at the conference room along with the board chair to support me, and I can tell you it has really started a great chapter. I hope this will be one of the best chapters ever with the school district and the town working together, because what is our most precious asset? Our students. And a great legacy of the school district of Seymour. Again, I'm proud to be here. For those of you who don't know a little bit about my history, I've been in the business for 40 years. I've served as a school superintendent for 16 years and an assistant superintendent for 21 years. My last 8 years have been in New Jersey as a sheriff superintendent in 3 school districts on the Jersey Shore. And there I was very lucky to have a great legacy, but it was a legacy of teamwork. Many times we would go to our town councils and present, and it truly was great partnership. My districts there were recognized, one as the top lighthouse, one of the 7 in the state. And we also were honored as a STEAM academy that got national recognition. And our kids also won a STEAM tank competition with the New Jersey school kids. Also in Kentucky, I'll just sum up and say I had one of the top 3 districts in the state. But I am ever so honored to be here as your new superintendent, and I want to thank the Board of Education. I think the main ingredient they were looking for was somebody with experience. So again, this partnership, Anne-Marie, you have been tremendous. On the first day of school, you have been there with us. On the second day, when we had the fair outage, you were there for us. And so I want to start out, there's 3 books here, but one book really describes you. Real women, real leaders. And that's truly what you are.
Thank you.
There's 2 other books, and
Thank you.
this is just a nice little water bottle that
I was
can
very
use.
jealous of Vonda's.
Yes, Vonda got one, so guess what? You get one.
Oh,
But again,
Nice,
thank you
very
for
nice.
your wonderful support.
thank
And I just want to sum up just saying that we're going to move forward again with a strategic plan. We've already got a good strategic plan in place, but we plan on moving forward with some additions. And also with the partnership, we want to do a profile of a graduate for our kids from kindergarten through 12th grade, and then also some other initiatives that we're currently working on. So we have a lot of great goals. Be proud of the history, the legacy here of the school district, and I'm just honored to be a new chapter. So thank you. And I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you.
the board chair's
Thank you.
support. He's been
Okay.
there, done that.
If I could just add a couple of comments.
Uh-huh.
Number one, we all know that once a Wildcat.
Always a
always
Wildcat. Yep.
And Dr. Compton is a Kentucky Wildcat. So we still give her, and we were able to steal her away from the University of Louisville, which is the arch rival of Kentucky, to come to Seymour, Connecticut. And she's a resident at Walnut Street in Seymour also.
Nice.
I thought it would be good to live in the town. I think that's important. And again, my doctoral degree, I'm a University of Kentucky Wildcat always, and now I'm a Seymour Wildcat. So thank you.
Any questions for Dr. Compton?
Anything we can do to help her?
Okay, great. So item number 6 is a presentation of citations. We are first going to present the citations and from the state of Connecticut, as well as the proclamations from the town.
Where do you want me?
You could go right there. Oh, we have ours too. You want to do ours? I'll do that. You do yours.
Thank you for having me here today. I have a few citations, and like Anne Marie, my voice is going as well, so I apologize. The first set of citations are for Fred, Karen, and Rosalie. I need to thank you for the hard work and dedication you've done for the town of Seymour over the years, and that the 2 of you I know will continue to do moving forward with a town that we all love so much. And I'm sure you find it a little strange that you're getting a second citation for the same reason. And in my mind, you never have 2 reasons, right? So we live in a world that's in a constant news cycle, as we all know. We're surrounded by talk and name calling and politics, and sometimes it's not good politics. And it can be really bad politics 24/7. But there are times when it's not appropriate and it's not necessary, and this is one of those times. I was disappointed to hear that my name was left off these citations, and also the 2 senators from Seymour, Senator Kelly and Senator Bell. And I truly hope that this was accidental, but in my heart, I don't think it was. Fred, Karen, and Rosalie, congratulations. Please accept my sincere thanks and appreciation for all you've done for the town of Seymour. I know Karen's watching above and smiling again for her second citation. but I'm going to read Fred's citation, and they're all very similar. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Fred Stanek, your contributions to the town of Seymour, serving on the Board of Education since 1989, the Seymour Parade Committee, the Seymour Community Center Building Committee, and the Seymour Schools Building Committee. You have helped our residents to thrive and to make Seymour a great community. As a member of Griffin Health Services Corporation Board of Directors, you have helped Griffin Hospital in the many roles you serve in for this organization, a mission which further helps to make our community safe and healthy. You are a tremendous public servant. The entire delegation thanks you for your dedication to the town of Seymour and wishes you many years of success and prosperity.
We're gonna do Fred together.
Okay.
And next, Rosalie. Come on. Your contributions to the town of Seymour as Commission Chairwoman of Planning and Zoning, Town Treasurer under Francis Conroy, as well as serving as the Treasurer in 1998 for Ron Skurrett's run for the 105th House District. Your impressive work as a Realtor serving on the State Board of Realtors as President and earning you the distinction of 5-Star Realtor, winning the Connecticut Magazine Award from 2011 to 2021. Serving on the Valley Naugatuck Board of Health as both President and Treasurer, and appointed an overseer of the Seymour Ambulance Company by Bob Koslowski. The entire delegation thanks you for your dedication to the town of Seymour and wishes you many years of success and prosperity. And Fred, this is for Karen. I'm going to try not to cry. A legendary career as a public servant and educator for the town of Seymour, serving as a teacher and trusted advisor for everyone at Seymour High School for 35 years. Leading the mock trial team to win 2 consecutive state championships and awarded the Valley Bar Association Liberty Bell Award for that victory. Recipient of the 2002 David A. Brummer Excellence in Education Award. The 2019 Tina Kabasa Excellence in Teaching Award, and selected as an inaugural member of the Seymour High School Alumni Hall of Fame in 2021. Serving on the Board of Selectmen from 2011 until her passing on March 8, 2019. Her work of her career embodies what it means to come from Seymour. Once in a while, count. Okay, next one. This one is for the passing of Robert Lang. And we know in Seymour he was a legend. Everything he did, he touched so many lives. Softball teaching every day. You couldn't be up at the Casa Grande Field without thinking of him constantly. So this one is to Bob Lang. Bob C. Lang, loving son, cousin, and friend. Robert impacted many lives in his 36 years of teaching. Committed to women's fast-pitch softball in his work with the George J. Hummel Little League organization as a baseball volunteer and instrumental in founding the George J. Hummel Little League softball program, serving as the softball commissioner until his passing. His leadership led the program to victory, racking up innumerable district titles, state championships, and winning the girls' Big League Softball World Series. Dedicated to the town of Seymour, serving on many boards and commissions, and chairman of the Seymour Christmas Parade. He will be truly missed by all who had the pleasure of knowing him. From myself, Senator Eric Raffel, and Senator Kevin Kelly. And Bob Finley will take it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm humbled and honored to read the Seymour citation. he touched our lives. He touched my family's lives. He's the most selfless person that I've ever met in my entire life. He was some of the reasons I got into coaching. He was some of the reasons I changed the way I managed people. I got to know him so long ago, and this man really impacted my life and affected so many in this town. It was amazing what he did for this town. If I was to say anything about him, he was calm, humble, determined, and passionate. And that's what you could read about him. He was very, he wasn't very outgoing, but everybody did everything for him. He amazed me. There was one person in this town that the impact on my life was tremendous. So again, I'm humbled and honored to read this citation. Whereas Robert Lang was a graduate of Seymour High School and the Southern Connecticut State University, earning a master's degree in elementary education in 1968. And whereas the next 36 years, Mr. Lang, as he was known to his students, became a beloved fourth grade teacher at the former Center School in Chatfield Presti. Whereas the beginnings of Robert's legendary coaching career, which include countless wins, 20 state championships, and a softball World Series victory, began in 1972 as a volunteer for George J. Hummel Little League. And whereas Robert Lang founded the George J. Hummel Little League softball program in 1973 and coached the Red Devils for more than 40 years. And whereas Robert Lang is a paragon of softball and will continue to inspire generations of young women to pursue sports. And whereas Robert Lang donated countless hours to the Seymour Parks and Recreation Committee and became the face of our Christmas parade. And whereas Seymour and all those called Robert Lang a colleague, coach, or friend, and were made better because of him, and therefore it be it resolved that on the 7th day of June will be the day of remembrance and celebration in the town of Seymour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Selectman Bowen and I will go and present Mr. Stanek. Each one of our selectmen will be presenting a proclamation tonight. And I just want to say one thing. I got this idea from attending the Paul Follett Robert Kennedy dinner. And I was so moved and so touched by it that I kind of thought about it when I went home. And I thought about it some more. And I thought about it some more. And it was wonderful that I was able to attend. And it was wonderful to see so many people there. But the only thing that people saw there, or the people that were there, were the people that were there. Our program is watched on the news by the elderly, to anybody that cannot come here. And I wanted it to be recognized throughout the town. Because we shouldn't just be recognizing it at one dinner, or two dinners, or three dinners. We should be recognizing the people who have done so much for our town, through our town. Not through parties, but through our town and by our town. So this proclamation, citations are done by the state, proclamations are done by the town. So today, this proclamation we're reading is given to Mr. Fred Stanek. Mr. Stanek, can you please come up? And because if I have to read some of these in my
Start. Whereas Frederick Stanek is a graduate of the University of Connecticut and Syracuse University College of Law. And whereas Frederick Stanek is a distinguished attorney of more than 40 years, admitted to practice law before all courts in the state of Connecticut, and partner at Welch, Teodosio, and Stanek LLC. And whereas Frederick Stanek has lent his leadership to many organizations and advanced civic and cultural initiatives as a selectman, Griffin Hospital trustee, committee member for the Matthews Foundation, amongst others. And whereas in his more than 30 years on the Board of Education, Frederick Stanek has dedicated himself to the advancement of Seymour's schools and the betterment of our past, current, and future students. And whereas Frederick Stanek serves as the standard by which we measure ourselves as public servants, community members, and most of all, people. And whereas, as dedicated as Frederick was to Seymour, he was even more so to his family. And therefore be it resolved.
Oh, here we go. That's my turn. That I, Anne Marie Jordanis, first Selectwoman of Seymour, hereby proclaim October 29th to be the Karen and Fred Stanek Day in the town
town of Seymour. It witness whereof I hereunto set my hand on this 19th day of October 2021, cause this seal to be attached. Absolutely.
Madam First Selectwoman,
That's me.
members of the Board of Selectmen, on behalf of Karen and myself, I cannot thank you enough for this proclamation. Madam State Representative, thank you so much for the citation on behalf, especially on behalf of Karen. I'm really touched. I cannot speak very well right now, because I'm so touched. Karen is looking down upon you. She sat with all of you on this board, except for Pat Lombardi, who is not a member of the board, but they knew each other. You can see Karen sitting in her seat here. She's so thankful. She loved all of you. She loved your town. And I thank you also. I can't say much more because I'm so taken by the generosity and gratitude that you've expressed for Karen's involvement in the community. And she and Coach Sponheimer, I believe, developed this slogan, once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. So that's what we all need to live by. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Proclamation, Town of Seymour. Whereas Rosalie Averill is an accomplished realtor of more than 30 years, and whereas she is recognized by Connecticut Magazine as a 5-star realtor and served as president of the State Board of Realtors. And whereas Rosalie has dedicated countless hours to Seymour, lending her time and experience as a member of Seymour's Economic Development Commission and chairwoman of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and whereas when our community faced unprecedented challenges from COVID-19, Rosalie provided calm and steady guidance as the chair of the North Valley Health District, and whereas Rosalie's contributions directly aided the health and safety of our friends, family, and community, and therefore be it
That I, Emery Draganis, first selectwoman of Seymour, affirm our deepest thanks to Rosalie Averill for her years and dedication to Seymour. A witness whereof I have unto set my hand on this 19th day of October 2021, cause this seal to be attached. Yep.
Is an honor, and I'm never lost for words for Anne tonight. I started serving in town of Seymour in the middle of the 70s, and for those of you who might remember, I was chairman of P&Z when the dog track was being proposed. It went to Plainfield, but the first site was Seymour Mead Farm and Deer Run. That was their site. We walked it. And they withdrew because whatever, within the town, they knew it wasn't going to be a home run. We had our first massage parlor, which was supposed to be a gym. In a month, we had a site visit. It was 10 miles on the exercise bike. So it didn't last long in town of Seymour, but my term ran out in December because of the November election, and I was crushed. The Democrats didn't get in, the Republicans got in, and I didn't get reappointed. And I wrote a scathing letter to the then town council, who I became friends with. I actually sold his house. He has since passed away, but he reminded me that every party has the right to appoint and reappoint and replace. And I lost my seat on P&Z, and that was crushing to me. 3 months later, somebody resigned, and I was asked to get on, and I, at that point, got my real estate license, so when one door closes, another one opens. And since then, I've had a successful career, 42 years in real estate. I served on the Board of Health, 26 years, through COVID, through anthrax. We moved from Shelton to Seymour, and I just enjoy serving the town of Seymour, and I hope to stay here a few more years. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have this proclamation for Karen, and just on a personal note, she was an instructor of mine, a teacher of mine. I loved her law class, and I'm only here because I was asked to, in her passing, fill her seat for the remainder of that term and then continue on. So I'm honored. I mean, the emotion that you put into your being honored in this, I mean, it means a lot, and I'm so happy that she's being recognized for all of her contributions. So, no further ado, the proclamation from the town of Seymour. Whereas Karen Stanek was a graduate of Seymour High School and Southern Connecticut State University, and whereas Karen Stanek returned to her Wildcat family as a teacher in 1970, and whereas Mrs. Stanek became a beloved teacher of 35 years, positively impacting thousands of Seymour students with her quick wit and lessons that extended beyond the classroom, and whereas she founded Seymour Mock Trial and led them to 2 state championships, and mentored students beginning their journey at Seymour High, and those ready to start their next adventure outside the classroom, and whereas Karen Stanek demonstrated the importance of leading by example, volunteering countless hours, serving on the parade committee, board of ethics, board of education, board of selectmen, and as a trustee at the Valley Community Foundation. And whereas Karen Stanek's lasting contributions earned her a David A. Broomer Excellence in Education Award, a Tina Kubasa Excellence in Teaching Award, entrance into Seymour High School Alum Hall of Fame, and an eponymous scholarship, whereas she is dearly missed, and whereas once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat, and resolved
That I am Richard as first selectman of Seymour hereby proclaim October 29th to be recognized as Karen and Fred Stanek Day in the town of Seymour. A witness whereof I appear on to set my hand on this 19th day of October 2021, cause the seal to be affected. Mr. Chairman.
Once again, thank you so much. And Rob, I know that Karen is very proud of you and was honored by your taking her seat on this board of selectmen. She respected you very much as a student. She still thought you as a student. And she's thrilled that as a student of government of hers, you are fulfilling her wishes and her desires as a member of the board of selectmen. And I will do the best I can to live up to all. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Now is discussion and take possible action regarding the proclamation for Seymour Pink, and reading the proclamation of Seymour Pink will be Selectman Lombardi. You don't have it? Oh dear, okay.
You want me to read it? You want me to read it? Doesn't matter.
Super.
So the proclamation of the town of Seymour, whereas every October, we as a community reaffirm our solidarity with the men and women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer and honor those that have passed. And whereas Seymour Pink's mission to unite the community in a fight against breast cancer by funding research, education, and empowering those with breast cancer and their families. And whereas Seymour Pink provides direct financial assistance and scholarships to those affected by breast cancer. And whereas since 2009, Seymour Pink has raised $3 million, making substantial contributions to Yale Smilo Cancer Institute and Griffin Hospital's Hewlett Breast Cancer Center. And whereas the town of Seymour is internally grateful to the extraordinary efforts of Mary Deming and all of the volunteers. And whereas the town of Seymour has previously declared the 20th day of October Seymour Pink Day. Resolved, that we as a community will follow the lead set by Seymour Pink and continue to fight against breast cancer.
In witness whereof I have unto set my hand on this 19th day of October 2021 with the seal affixed. Anne Marie Draganis, first selectwoman of Seymour. I just want to thank our recipients of our proclamations and the citations, Rosalie, Fred, Karen, and Mr. Lang is no longer here, that I look up to all of you as leaders, as friends, as mentors. And I truly, truly appreciate all the support and friendship that you all have given to me, especially to you, Mrs. Stravello. Dr. Compton, I know we just met, but I'm sure this will be a wonderful relationship with, and also you, Judy Simpson. I appreciate so much all of you, and I look forward to continue to working with you and looking towards your guidance and advice in the future. I see you as friends as well. That's what I have to say. Sorry. Okay. Next, number 8, discussion and take possible action regarding 15 Bridle Path Lane. Attorney Bertel.
If I may, Madam First Selectwoman, and gentlemen of the Board of Selectmen, if you will recall, the LLC Arwell LLC made an offer to convey a 6+ acre parcel to the town of Seymour to be preserved as open space. This came before you approximately 2 months ago. It was referred to the Planning and Zoning Commission. You will see in your packet that the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously approved the grant of open space, so it comes back before you. And if you wish to accept it, a motion would be in order to accept the conveyance of open space from Arwell LLC at 15 Bridle Path Lane, Seymour, Connecticut.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Someone.
Seconded.
So moved by Al. Chris Bowen, your hand went up. Second by Al Bruno. Discussion.
So Rich, this is just ratifying what we had discussed before and just putting it into, just putting the bow on it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Can someone remind me what the plan is with this space, this open space? Are we going to make it a land trust, or?
Well, it's not going to the land trust, it's going to the town of Seymour, so it's your open space.
Are there preliminary plans for that?
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
I'm asking anybody who might have an answer.
Well, I think the first step was to make it open space for the town, and then.
And then we can figure it out later. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the list is discussion and take possible action regarding the 2021 Homeland Security Grant Program. This comes to us every year, and it's for regional funding. For equipment and things that we will need. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Bob Finley, second by Pat Lombardi. Discussion?
Could you give the amount, just so the public knows, Anne Marie, just approximately?
Rory, do we have the amount for the grant?
Just approximately? We don't know how much we're getting.
Hold on. No, there's no amount, because we're going out for the grant.
Okay,
That's why.
okay. So we don't know yet.
Do I have to read the resolution into the,
Move it as written.
all right. As written in the resolution.
There's been a lot of proclamations and resolutions.
That's a good idea.
That was a very wise move.
Yeah.
Our secretary is about to do it now.
You see the look on his face? See the look on hers?
All in favor?
Copy of page.
That a girl.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0. B&B UST, in your packet, you have a letter from Brian Mysteriak, who's our town engineer. And he was asked to investigate the status of our underground storage tanks located at various town buildings. 4 locations included 98 Bank Street, Bungay Elementary School, Seymour Middle School, and Seymour High School. The tanks have historically been used primarily for heating and domestic hot water. He went out and he asked for RP to get some quotes on some sampling so we know what we have, and he came up with the best price. He's attached, and we have HRP Associates was $16,160, Aaron Environmental Services was $15,600, and Geo Insight was $6,950. Based on HRP Associates' thorough proposal and cost, he is recommending the town move forward with the HRP Associated of Task 1, which is to do the borings in the ground, to see what we have. That is the best way from an environmental standpoint to move forward, is let's see what we have first, and then we can go by our next cause of action. We have the money in there, we've been putting it in our capital plan. So the 16,100 is in there. I just need us to make a motion on it.
So motion to approve as presented?
Seconded.
Discussion?
Just one question on the, when it has the breakout, it shows the different items. Those are different, like bill of,
Yep.
like a bill of material, what they would do.
Yes.
So the HASP, oversight and HASP.
Yep, your
which
health and
wasn't
safety
added-
plan.
Yeah, no, yeah, understood.
Okay,
It
sorry.
wasn't
Well,
added in.
I don't know what it is. What is it
Oh.
again?
It's a health and
Health and
safety
safety.
plan.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, 'cause
Thanks
they
for
didn't put
defining
that
that
in any
acronym.
of the other, yeah, so.
Right, so HRP came for 16,000, they came with their GPR borings, their
Right, 24 borings.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
What is GPR?
That is,
Go ahead.
oh God, I forgot the acronym. Hold on. Oh, that's it. ground
Thank you.
penetrating.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry. Look at Monica coming up with it.
Nice.
Ground pin,
As,
okay.
as I'm looking at Rob, like, I know what that is, Rob. We know what that is, but we can't think of it, right?
Yeah, never when asked. Never immediately when asked. 3 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden, guys, I got it, group text.
Yep. The oversight in the house, the drilling of sub-24 borings, plus the analytical, plus writing a report. The only other person that put in a report was Geosite, but they don't have a HASP, which a HASP is very important.
Yep, and they
As
only
you
have
know.
5 borings. So.
Yep.
Any reason why they would do, and asking you guys to be psychic, but why would they offer 5 borings? That's what they felt was sufficient based on what they were presented?
I can't answer for them. The only thing I can assume is that maybe they felt they only had to go around the tank and not look actually underneath the tank.
Okay,
I
'cause we're
can't
t-
speak for them, but.
Yeah, I know, we're talking about 4 locations doing 6 borings at each one.
Yeah.
And some of these buildings are really old.
And
But
they're
two
just,
of them said 24, so it's kind of.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah. 2 of them are saying we're gonna do multiple at each location, and they seem like they're doing just kind of one at each, maybe an extra one somewhere. It's great if it's only leaking out to one side and they happen to catch it.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Okay. On your desk, you had a list of new appointments.
The revised one.
The
right?
revised one, yes. I know. So Paul Tontini, Comcast Advisory. So what the Comcast Advisory is, it's a board that makes sure that the valley has the local shows that it needs. It has the valley news, so we're not getting news from New Britain or, Windsor Locks. That's what the Comcast Advisory
access?
is. It's make sure that we have cable access for the valley, that's important to the valley.
Okay, so I have a question about that then. This is the Comcast advisory, but we have 2 cable companies that service our area. Does this also apply to Frontier?
The local cable access is run exclusively by Comcast. To my knowledge, they have the studio of the facility on Bridge Path.
Oh, okay, so they're the ones who own what used to be Channel 10 we're talking about? Okay.
So that building's still in operation, Roar. I heard a rumor that they had vacated that.
They don't
For the most
use
part.
like kind of cables out there, but Kurt and I had actually, Kurt filmed the thing with the strategic planning
Because you don't see a lot of traffic coming in and out of there, so that's why I'm just curious.
Significantly less used than
But yeah, but you're right, you used to have to return, you used to be able to return your cable box and everything out of there.
Just to, this is the old Cablevision / the same cable place we've had for however long?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Does that mean somebody with Frontier doesn't have access to,
I think, I don't 100% understand this, but I think, it's kind of a legacy thing, like local cable access was when there were, publicly operated frequencies, and they were legally obligated to do FYMD, and so I think part of this is having that represented or overseen.
okay, so,
I'm sure Frontier isn't knocking down the door to do it, because it's probably a
Yeah.
loser. It probably loses money.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, I just didn't know if the signal is something that Frontier has to be able to provide or something like that. So if it's information that is given out to the public, you have to have Comcast to access that channel. People from Frontier would not get access
Well, we
to that.
don't know that necessarily. Maybe they sell it to Frontier and,
Yeah, that's what I'd be interested to
Yeah.
know, is if somebody with Frontier gets access to it.
yeah.
I also need to point out that there's no mention of the Comcast Advisory Committee on our town site. I don't know when they meet. I don't know, have they met in the
They
2
don't meet
years?
for the town, we just put 2 people on it. Correct, Roy?
Okay, do they,
It's like one of these three combos. Honestly, I would have to check with Gail Catlin or Paul Thompson.
okay, because
Oh, Gail's the other person on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't get to her name.
Oh,
Go ahead,
There we
Will
go.
be.
I didn't see that.
I just didn't know this existed until we trucked the minutes, and now we still don't know if they meet, if there's minutes. What are they telling Comcast?
So you'd like to know more
I'll
about it?
to Melissa Leonard at Comcast, who runs the cable access program, and I'll
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a reason to vote no, but I'd like more information if possible.
Okay. So Paul Tontini,
So moved?
Second.
You gotta go through the whole thing.
yep, Comcast Advisory appointment, 4 years, October 19, 2025 is his expiration date. Rob Van Egan,
Second.
second by Al Bruno, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Gail Catlin, Comcast Advisory reappointment, 4 years, October 19, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Pat Lombardi, second by Bob Finley. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0. John Zwolinski Jr., correct? Yep. Parks Commission, it's an appointment of 2 years, 10/19/2023.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Bob Finley, second by Al Bruno. Discussion?
What happened to the first guy? This is an amended list. They're the list that we
That
got.
person never showed up to meetings.
Cool.
Yep, so we got another one.
Because Bob Lang is actually found that.
Good.
So that first, the original one says appointment, but that would have been a reappointment?
It
That-
would have been a
Oh,
Reappointment. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries 6-0. Okay, tax refunds and abatements. In your package, you have the tax refunds and abatements. Can you please look it over and let me know what your thoughts? Make sure there's no issues. All in, motion, can I have a motion?
So moved?
Motion by Rob Van Egan, second by Al Bruno. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pat, you're on the list,
You're on the list.
so you might want to
Oh,
abstain.
I'm on the list?
You are. You're getting $21.90. Don't spend it all in one
Oh, Lord,
place.
I will abstain, I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses.
Go buy a pair of cheaters with
Wait for
it.
the meeting,
My
I
God,
bring
Pat.
glasses, and I
My
don't have
God.
mask.
Make sure it's in the minutes. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's all right.
I abstain.
There you go.
You have the pink
I have
shirt.
that.
You did, you remembered to do that. I know,
I know.
I know.
That's what my wife said, I know.
I forgot my pink
I
mask.
wore
had a
mine to
pink
work,
mask.
so I didn't forget.
Holding. We'll call it a senior moment. I couldn't resist, sorry.
5-0.
I tried.
Don't worry, he'll forget about it.
I'm too close, Chris, to say that out loud. He can smack me.
You won't forget about it.
We have no transfers. Correspondences. There was no correspondences in here. Public comment. Our public left.
They left. Failed.
No public comments going second. No public comment going 3 times. Selectmen's comment. We'll start off with Bowen.
So first off, since everybody's talking about Thursday, as the lone condor in the room, I need to point out that the O'Brien Tech football team has a home game this weekend against Prince Tech, 11 o'clock at the athletic facility on Prindle Ave. Again, I can't possibly thank Fred and Rosalie and Karen enough for their service, and I'm glad to have been there for both of the latest proclamations. Mr. Lang, I'm 41 years old. It's been 30 years since I've been in his class. I still struggle to call him Bob or Robert. Mr. Lang is probably the most important teacher I've ever had. He's not only a large reason why I'm as involved in sports as I am. He's the person that got me interested in computers and got me a career in IT. He had these old Amiga 1000, these old Tandy 1000 computers that had the big 5-inch discs, and he used to let me come in when my work was done, even when I wasn't in his class, and use those computers, not just for games, but for word processing and just to learn how the computer worked, to the point where I was doing tech support in 3rd grade for the 6th graders. So, which boosted my young ego very considerably. If it weren't for that snap, I don't know where I'd be professionally. I don't know if I'd be sitting in this chair. I definitely know if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be as involved in multiple sports as I have been in my life. I wish we had longer with him, but I'm not going to say we all pass. But even though our time on this earth is limited, Mr. Lang is the kind of person who will live forever. He will live forever with his name on the softball field that I was on the day he passed, working a game. He will live in the memories that multiple generations upon generations upon generations of people have from being in his class and on his diamond. His legacy will live on from the numerous people that have gone on to play college softball. I'm sure Mr. Finley can speak very intimately on that. We can't understate the impact that somebody like Mr. Lang has on this community. And I'm so thankful that I got to tell him what he meant to me a couple of years ago at the Christmas parade before COVID hit and locked us up. But even near the end, he was still walking to Chatfield Park. He was still doing his long walks. And the last time I worked a regional game at the softball at his field, and he used to sit up there in his little perch. He had his perch behind the plate. And he always there. Came down to the field afterwards. You never failed to see him there when he was at a game that he wasn't actively coaching in. So thank you, Mr. Lang, and thank you to everybody else, but especially to a wonderful man who will live a lot longer than his 80 years.
I'm not going to be that verbose. I am going to say that I was very honored to be able to do the proclamation for Karen Stanek, and I was bowled over when I was asked to fill her position here, and that Fred gave his blessing on that. It meant a lot to me. So thank you, Anne Marie, for allowing me to do that. I really appreciate that. Furthermore, this is going to be this is my little Alexander's first Halloween, so this is going to be super, super cool. I will commend photos with as many costume changes as my wife makes him go through.
Awesome. Thank you. Alberta?
I just want to thank everybody. Well done to everybody who helped with the citations and proclamations. It was obvious the recipients were very appreciative and quite touched by that gesture. So well done by those who thought of that. And it was really nice to see. It's good to take time in our busy meetings and in our lives to appreciate folks and show that appreciation, that gratitude. What a great group of individuals that we honor tonight. It was also wonderful to see Dr. Compton here and to meet her for the first time tonight. From what I've seen thus far, she's a stellar leader and is going to be a great fit for our school system, and I'm really looking forward to where she helps take our system. It's getting stronger and stronger. We have wonderful administrators and teachers and our students. It's obvious she's all about kids, which is very important. You have to be. So I'm excited to have her here in our district. Somebody with that experience and that kind of leadership skill set, which we saw in action tonight. And I'm gonna go and catch that football game Thursday night. I really want to go. So I'd put that forth. That's going to be a big game with Ansonia, and looking forward to going and watching that.
Business ones.
No, great to see Dr. Compton. It's wonderful to have her here and talk to us. It's very impressive. So I look forward to see what she does moving forward. As for the Bob Lang thing and citations, Mr. Lang, the passion he had, he would be at every Brakettes game. Not that he just coached the kids, he would go to Brakettes games on his own. He'd be there by himself in his little seat, and he had a special seat that he was always at. Just passionate about the game, just a passion. And I think if we look at it as a board, the one thing we can honor them in proclamations and citations and all that, but the real honor, and I think we all should take this, is to strive to be more like that. I mean, I think you look at all the people that we honor tonight, Seymour Pink, Mary Deming, Trudy, those people, the amount of passion they have to do something and to maintain it. They don't want it for the honor and glory. They're doing it because they feel they're passionate about something. And I think if we can teach more people to do that and carry that on in their legacy, that's where we need to be. All these are great, but I think the other thing is how do we teach that so this town is very, you can go to many towns, you won't see as many people that are that dedicated. So, we're fortunate to have that type of dedication in our town, and I think to honor them, we should try to do the same. So.
Thank you.
Obviously echo all the comments about the proclamations of all those individuals. Well deserved. Just on a note on Seymour Pink, first Selectwoman was on our team. Obviously, as all of you know, my wife was a breast cancer survivor. It's one of my favorite charities. We always put a team together. We have for the last 9 years. Actually crossed the finish line in just a little bit over an hour. So I thought that was pretty good. We had a great day for everyone, for our community. It was an excellent turnout. And it would appear that we're probably going to be very close to the $70,000, which was the overall goal for Seymour Pink this year. So to all of you that participated and contributed, my sincere thanks. Thank you.
With that, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Moved by Selectman Bowen, Selectman Lombardi, second by Selectman Bowen. Thank you. All in favor?
All right.
Motion carries.
Who's getting the gift?